Imagine stepping into your brand new home in Covington, Georgia, keys in hand, knowing you secured it with little to no upfront cost. Probably sounds too good to be true, but it's not, y'all. In this video, I'm taking you inside an amazing 5-bedroom new construction home for sale in Covington, Georgia, under $400K, and having a behind-the-scenes candid combo with my on-site partner, Stacy. We're gonna be revealing exactly how buyers are getting their down payments and closing costs covered to buy brand new homes. If home ownership has ever felt out of reach and this is the year you buy a home, then this video is for you. By the way, in case we have not met yet, I'm Tamasia, the new construction queen, a buyer's agent guiding home buyers to get the keys to their brand new homes. At New Construction House Hunters, we go on the hunt to match you to the best new homes and incentives until you find a place you love. Subscribe right now to stay up to date with all things new construction homes, incentives, and tips in the Atlanta metro area. And if you would like to get a personalized new home toolkit to know which new homes and incentives are fit for you, find the links down below in the description to stay connected or scan the QR code in one of these places to schedule a time, and I'll see you there. Now, the moment you have been waiting for. Before we start your 5-bed, 3.5-bath home tour, let's find out how you can get your down payment and closing costs fully covered to buy a brand new home. Stay tuned. Let's do this. Show us how people are able to purchase a home, brand new home built from the ground up. They are the first person to live in it for basically their earnest deposit or nothing. Tell us about it.
So there's several ways. There's a lot of different grant programs. Our most popular ones are going to be, so Georgia Dream 1 is not a grant program. It's a down payment assistance program. So it's going to be a second lien on the home.
Correct.
That it does need to be paid back, but there's no interest that's added. You're not, and you pay it back only when you move. Refinance them. So it would come out of the proceeds of your home. So you wouldn't even see that.
Correct.
Right? Because you're going to grow your equity. Then we have programs like FHLBC, which is the Federal Home Loan Bank. That is a true grant. So you do not have to pay those funds back. The amount of the grant that they offer is going to be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. Now, the thing about FHLBC, Tamasia, is you can layer that with Georgia Dream on top of the seller paid contribution.
If the down payment is supposed to be $13,000, which is paid for by the buyer usually, because the grant program is offering up to $15,000. How would it, and the builder is giving $20,000, so down payment is paid, closing cost is paid, and now you're saying they could also do Georgia Dream on top of that as well. Why would somebody want to do that?
So the reason you would want to do it, because you want as much money as you can. When I have seen people do it, because of course that money, all three of those, so Georgia Dream, that's $13,000 in this scenario. That you get. Then you get another $15,000, right? And then you get $20,000.
So that's a lot of money.
So that is $48,000, right? And it's like, what are you going to do with $48,000? You're going to take that Georgia Dream. We're going to pay your down payment. You're going to take that $20,000 in seller paid closing costs. We're going to cover your closing costs. You can take the overage and get upgrades with what the builder is offering. And then what I have seen people do is whatever's left over, they take that extra money and apply it to the principal balance of their loan.
Wow.
So I've seen people go to the closing table with $10,000, $12,000 of their loan paid off. So they're going into the loan. So they don't just let that money just go in the air. It's not going in anyone's pocket. It's not going back to someone else. You can apply it to the principal of your loan.
Wow.
And so you're just in an even better situation. When I saw that, I was like, wow, what? Like, you don't have to bring any money to the table. You're getting $10,000 of your principal paid off from jump. And you're not paying any closing costs, and you use some of that money to get upgrades. You cannot beat that with a stick.
No, for real. Now let's talk about okay, so disclaimer, Stacy and I are not lenders, okay? We just know a lot of stuff, and we want to educate the people. We want to help you purchase new construction homes, okay? So know that we're not lenders, but we do know a lot, all right? So with that disclaimer, what are the credit score requirements for these grant programs, or even to do exactly what you just said? What's the minimum credit score?
So every grant program, and there's so many that we can touch on. We'd be here for an hour, right?
For sure.
So that's why you want to call Tamasia and, get the ball rolling and see what fits, what bucket you fit in, right? But from my experience, a majority of the down payment assistance programs are looking for a 640 credit score.
That's it, people. 640.
So you don't need a 700, you don't need an 800, you don't need a perfect credit score. 640, definitely for Georgia Dream. And then other factors and that's where we bring the lender in to calculate your debt to income ratio so that you can meet those requirements. But specifically for like FHLBC, as long as you get an approval with the lender, then you can get those funds. So you may have a lender, they only may need a 600 credit score. But that lender can approve you with that 600 credit score and they shoot it over to FHLBC for you to get that grant. You can get that grant. Georgia Dream is going to require a 640 credit score. So to answer your question, to be on the safe side, because it's a lot of moving parts, I would say 640 is that golden number for credit scores.
Now let's talk about income. I know some grant programs have income requirements like Georgia Dream, depending on all that good stuff, but some of them don't. But for your homes, let's say for your biggest home, that's $389,000. What I'm thinking, somebody probably is going to need about $85,000. Is that a kind of a safe-ish number for folks?
Yes. So you'll need about $85,000 and that's household income. So it doesn't need to be each person. If you're going on a loan with someone else, or someone else is going on a loan with you, rather, about $85,000. And then that's going to vary, again, depending on how much debt you have, right? So $85,000 is basically for someone who does not have much, like almost no debt, revolving account. So this does not include phone bills. It does not include utility bills. It doesn't include anything like that. So we're just looking at credit cards, loans, auto loans, personal loans, student loans. That's it.
What's one or two things that most people don't know about qualifying for a down payment program, or maybe a misconception about a down payment program?
I say I would go back to thinking that you need like this super high credit score, right? To get the down payment, and you don't need, you need that 640. Most of them are 640. And I think the highest credit score I've seen is like requirement is 660.
Yeah.
So it's really like, it's not that big of a range. And it's not difficult, right, to get. So you don't have to take a lot of classes. Now, some of them, like Georgia Dream, requires a course for you to take. This is like literally something you get online, you get a certificate, you take it for 30 minutes, you answer some questions, basic. That you need to pay your bills on time. Do you know that the mortgage is due on the 1st? And all that. It's just really basic. So there's not a lot that goes into it. You're not going into, it's not like a double or dual process. Some people are familiar with like NACA, where you have to go to counseling. And NACA is awesome, right? But that is not what you have to do. So everything is done simultaneously. So when you come to the lender, so that would be the second thing, is thinking that you have to do a lot more work than So everything is done simultaneously. So when our lender is originating your loan, they're also getting you qualified for the down payment assistance. So for you as the buyer, it's going to feel like a streamlined one track thing that you're doing, right? Not two separate action items.
That's their first step. If they want to know if they qualify, what are some things they need to do to be able to know?
You're not going to know if you qualify for a grant until you speak with the lender. And you're not going to know which lender to speak with until you speak to an agent, until you speak to Tamasia. Okay?
Correct.
A lot of different lenders. No lender is created equal, just like no person is created equally. And speaking with a realtor, getting representation from Tamasia, she can sit down and speak. And that's the purpose of a consultation. She can sit down, you can sit down and speak with the borrower, right? The buyer, and listen to the situation that they're in, what their needs are, what their concerns are. And you can say, hey, this is the perfect lender. I've seen this lender work this situation out many times before. Because what happens a lot is people will try to start the process on their own and go to a lender and get denied or get loan terms that are not favorable to them. When if they had spoken or gotten advice, counsel, they would know they could go to this other lender, get the payment that they want, get the down payment amount that they want, and that they can afford, and get a full, a fast approval. So the short answer to that question is call Tamasia, get representation as an agent, and then allow her to direct you to the lender who is going to assist you in the most effective way possible for your situation.
Now, let's talk about the homes that you guys have available right now in Covington. Give us a short overview of the community.
We are a brand new community. Okay. It's quiet. You're going to know a familiar face when you see one. We have 6 different floor plans. The way that we build our homes, they're spacious, they're airy. We have everything from 3 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms. We have homes with bedrooms on the main floor, homes without bedrooms on the main floor.
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. Here's 2 more videos for you to take a look at. Enjoy.